on this computer. Perfect. We're recording. This week we're talking in our, what is it even called? Where's my mind right now? Ringing a new rank. We are talking all about mindset this week. And the reason I shared with you guys mindset first and mastering our mindset is that it doesn't matter what we do the other 364 days of the year. If we don't spend the first little bit getting a hold of our mindset, getting a hold of like what it is we can achieve. And I'm going to sit here today, you guys, and I'm going to tell you that anything and everything that you want to achieve in this business is absolutely possible. You can totally do all of those things. And I want to be the bearer of like really great news that you can probably pass all of those things and do even more than you ever freaking thought possible. You can blow your own mind. This 6 or 5 weeks that we're going to spend together, it's going to be a little bit of sacrifice and a little bit of work, yeah? But for the first 5 weeks of the year, I really think that if we can get the ball rolling, first 5 weeks with some momentum, man, it's just going to create more and more and more. Going into February, there's going to be Team Cup happening again. I'm going to bring back the July Team Challenge, what we did in July. I'm going to bring that back in February with our team to coincide with Team Cup. So there's just going to be massive momentum to get the year started. And there's a book I love called The 12-Week Year. And it breaks down that a lot of times we set these goals, like I want to do this in 2019, I want to do this. And I've seen it time and time again in this business where I will mentor somebody and at the top of the year, they'll tell me, Brittany, I want to go emerald this year. And I'm like, 12 months and you got to add 2 people. I hate to break it to you, but you're going to be going so slow that either you're going to hit emerald and then just stay there and those people are going to drop off, or you're never going to hit it because 12 months is by far too long to go emerald. 12 months is by far too long to go diamond. And so even last year, we had a lot of coaches at the beginning of the year that were like, I'm going to be diamond in 2018. And it never happened for them. This was a small group of us in January, okay? And it actually didn't happen for any of those coaches. And I think the reason why is because we gave ourselves too much time. We gave ourselves too much time. And so this week with our mindset, these first 5 weeks in this ring at a new rank, I want you to just be bold. I want you to just go for it. Go for the ask. Go for the invite. Go for working your business 6 or 7 days a week and actually being consistent in all of those behaviors on your tracker that you printed out, right? And I want to map out some things for you guys tonight to get us in the mindset of where we can go this year. And corporate has actually done a really great job mapping out the road to elite. Before, elite used to be this thing where it was like, okay, one person on the team is going to go for elite and they might hit it and they might not. And I'm either standing where I am today and hoping for elite, but there's like no pathway in between. And it's kind of like throwing something at the wall and hoping it sticks. And to be completely honest with you guys, that's exactly what I did this year. This past year in 2018, I just threw stuff at the wall and prayed it stuck to get our team to elite. Now, our team did not hit elite, but I am proud to say that our team hit all of the points needed for elite. So when we talk about points here in a little bit, you need 105 points to get to elite. Our team ended, the last count that I got was 111. And we had to have, for Premier, we had to have the check marks for the points, which we did. We had to have the check mark for 2 new coaches hitting diamond in the year, and we did, thanks to Charles and Leah. And the last one was we had to hold 2-star diamond, or we had to hit 2-star diamond, having held that for 6 weeks. Unfortunately, we missed the mark on that one, and so our team isn't considered Premier, but man, we got stinking close. And so that just shows me like what's possible. And I didn't even have a roadmap for that, you guys. I was just like, face down, let's go, who's coming with me, okay? But now we have a better map that corporate has kind of thrown out, and maybe some of you have seen it. There are some trainings on the Champions page, so you can definitely check those out when we're done here, but I've kind of outlined it for us. So the road to elite now has benchmarks along the way, 4 different ones. You can kind of see in the background there that there's Team Builder is the first one. We're going to go through Team Leader as the second one. Premier Leader is your 3rd benchmark, and Elite Leader is the 4th and final stop on the road to elite. Now, all of these stops come with prizes and accolades and a little piece of the trophy. So once you hit Team Builder, you get the base of the trophy. When you hit Team Leader, you get the next level, Premier, the next level, and Elite, you finish out the trophy. So there's actually like a trophy they're giving this year for that, that everybody gets. But each person, when you hit those milestones, there's prizes that go along with it as well. first one though, and this is the one that the mass majority of our coaches and your coaches are going to be striving for. This is the first benchmark that right now in this first quarter, I want us to like put our heads down and say, I can hit Team Builder between now and March. And this is what it takes. It takes becoming diamond. Okay. There is no like hold diamond for 6 weeks or this or that. Diamond. You have to hit diamond and be announced diamond like on a national wake up call, which happens immediately after the week you hit. The only time qualifications come in, you guys, is when you're going into star qualifications where you have to hold it for a 6-week period, but I'll get into that in a second. So diamond, that's it. You hit diamond. That's one check mark. The second check mark for Team Builder is you have to produce 1 new emerald this year at some point. Okay. And the next benchmark is 25 leadership points. I'll talk about how you earn those here in a little bit. Just know 25 leadership points is what we're gunning for. And your weak leg needs to have a collective volume for at least 5 weeks of 1,000. Okay. Whenever you look at like active, for example, a coach stays active for 5 weeks based on their volume of order. So if I have, for example, if I ordered my Shakeology here in week 1 and then I pause it, when we get to this week 5, it's going to project me to be inactive because I don't have that Shakeology going through again, right? So when we see somebody projected to go inactive, it's because after this first week rolls out and these move over and there's a new 6th week here, right, that comes in as that 5th week, that week they wouldn't have the proper volume to stay active. That's why we see the projected inactive, right? So it goes with a 5-week period. So you need to have collectively on your weak leg team, okay? And for each of you, it's different which leg is your weak leg, but you can typically see which leg is your weak leg by looking at the volume. And I can show you in my back office here in a second what that looks like. But you need to have 1,000 volume points for 5 weeks straight collectively on that weak leg. Not like 1 week, but all 5 weeks combined, 1,000, okay? That's Team Builder. Team Leader, now we're going up, and a lot of you guys shared with me, I did a poll on Inspire Beauty where I asked what ranks you guys were looking to go, and a lot of you shared that you wanted Star Diamond Plus. This is your goal. This is where you're like, okay, I am gunning for Team Leader, and the timeline, you guys, yeah, you could totally do this first quarter, and that's like, let's go for it, right? But at a bare minimum, I would not stretch this Team Leader goal any longer than Summit. By Summit, if your goal on that survey that I gave was that you want to be a Star Diamond, Summit should be your goal date for that, which is July, right? You can totally be 1 star by July. You'll need 50 leadership points. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. Now, this Team Leader, you can either get 2 new emeralds somewhere on your downline, or 1 new diamond has to develop, okay? Now, if you've never been 1 star before, right, then you'd need that 1 diamond anyway to go 1 star. So that's what you'd have to go for, right? But for example, like right now, I'm 1 star. I could get 2 new emeralds, and that would qualify in place of 1 new diamond, and I would be considered Team Leader. Now your weak leg volume has to grow to 2,500 on the weak leg, okay? Moving on. Premier Leader is 2 star diamond plus, okay? You have to have 75 leadership points, and you need to develop at least 1 new diamond. But keep in mind, if you have never, if you are sitting at diamond or below right now, you're going to have to develop 2 diamonds to get to 2 star plus anyway. So think of it as you basically the rank would get you that 1 new diamond, right? Now your weak leg has to be 5,000. And the final rung is Elite, which is 5 star diamond plus 105 leadership points. In this calendar year, you'd have to get 2 new diamonds. Now, again, if you're sitting at diamond or below, you would need 5 diamonds anyway to get to 5 star diamond. So you would automatically check that off as you check off the rank as well. And then this volume stays the same as Premier, 5,000 on your weak leg, okay? Now, let's break down what that looks like. So actually, real quick, let me stop share and let me pop you into my back office so that I can show you what a weak and a strong looks like, just in case you need a little refresher. It's probably going to have me log in again. Yep. There we go. All right, so when we look at team volume, when you look here at your left, LV is left volume, RV is right volume. Now, these are pretty comparable for me this week. My left is starting to grow, but my left is actually my weak leg. And you can see it, you can definitely see it throughout some weeks like this, where like this week ending in 12/12, it was at 379, as opposed to the right volume was at 1,492. You can tell where your weak leg is versus your strong. So in a 5-week period, you would have to hold whatever those benchmarks were, whether it was 1,000 team volume for 5 weeks, 2,500 for the team leader, or when you look at premier and elite leaders, those were 5,000. So I would have to look at like the last 5 weeks and do some math and see where that would put me, right? But the first goal for you is 1,000 collectively over 5 weeks, and it can only be on your weak leg. Okay, that's where it's going to become important as we're growing our teams to diamond. Let's stop share here. As we're growing our teams to diamond to hit this first benchmark, right? Because the first benchmark, team builder, must be a diamond coach. As we're doing that, you're going to want to be even, because you're going to be adding coaches so that you have your 4 and your 4 active to be diamond, right? But at some point, you want your weak leg to grow a little bit of volume as well. So I tend to put more people on my weak leg than I do on my strong leg at this point, so that that's growing. If you guys have questions at all, please put them in the chat as we're going, and I'll totally be answering them at the end. So let's break down what these points look like real quick. And guys, the whole, like, I might be talking tonight and you're like, Brittany, I just said that I wanted to go Emerald, and I like have no idea what all these points are, and like it makes me want to vomit thinking about trying to get one of my people to go Emerald or go one of my people to go Diamond. Like, I'm gonna throw up. But here's the deal, it's that mindset. It's what I'm pushing you for. Some of the goals we shared today, I saw language like I want, or I hope, or I'll try. No, guys, this first week in mindset, I want us to catch ourselves on that. And this is the kind of community where it's okay to say that, but it's also okay to call each other out on it. Like, no more want, no more try, no more hoping. I will, because you can, because it's not out of your reach. It just takes the vital behaviors and doing it consistently, right? We know that. We know that. So this week, it's all about that mindset, and that's why I'm starting like right out of the gate with something big and bold, because I want your mindset to be, I can totally do that. I can totally do that, because you can. So how to earn leadership points. They used to be called elite points. They are now called leadership points, okay? So that this whole road to getting to elite on the path, you're earning these leadership points all along, right? They're not for like nothing. Because like, for example, for me, at the end of the day, you guys, I earned 111, or we earned as a team 111 elite points. Our team's not elite, even though we hit those points, right? And so it's like, it almost feels like we earned all those points for nothing, right? At the end of it. But on this new path, they don't go for nothing, okay? So the first way you earn them is with your APV, your acquisition personal volume. What is acquisition personal volume? Just think of acquired volume, right? So your acquired volume from any new customers in 2019. Anyone who purchases from you this whole year counts as your APV, okay? Any customer or any coach. So like when you sign up a coach at the same time as they get their challenge pack, that counts for your acquisition personal volume. They're part of that volume. Now, once they're a coach, they aren't counted for that. So like their recurring orders don't count for this anymore, just that first one. Does that make sense? I see some head nods. Good. Yeah. But customers, for example, let's say they buy Transform 20 Challenge Pack, and then in February they get their Shakeology again, then they want to try Performance Line. All of that, every order they get counts as your APV. Every time, now this is where you're like, oh my gosh, for real? Every time they get 500 AP, every time you hit 500 APV, 500 volume points total, you get 1 leadership point. You're like, what? 500? I just get 1? Yeah. They don't make it easy, y'all. They don't make it easy. But think about it. Like, you know, each challenge pack, if you look at a challenge pack and you're getting 100, you know, maybe you get 105 or 125, depending on the pack they got, volume points for that, maybe 135. Some of them, like if they get the mega pack, 200, some points. it adds up. It does add up. Okay. So it's not out of your reach. Now, the next way to earn points is your personally sponsored coaches who signed up in 2018. So last year, anyone who signed up last year in your downline, and anyone who signs up this year. Okay. When they hit Success Club, you get a point. So let me use an example. I see Elizabeth is on this call. So Elizabeth signed up with Amanda last year. She is a 2018 coach. If Elizabeth gets Success Club in January, Amanda gets 1 point because her personally sponsored coach from 2018 hit Success Club. Amanda will get a point. Amanda, if she hits Success Club also in the same month, so this month Elizabeth hit Success Club and Amanda also hit Success Club, now it gets doubled. So Amanda will get 2 points. Okay? This also counts for your new 2019 coaches. So let's say Amanda signs up Susie, and Susie also hit Success Club in January. Elizabeth hit Success Club in January. So that's 2 points. Amanda also hit it in January. Now we're doubled at 4. So she just earned 4 points in January. Okay? So your personally sponsored, but this is only for your personally sponsored coaches from 2018 and your new ones coming in 2019. If the coach is from 2017 or below, man, we love them to death, but they don't count for this particular category. Absolutely, we want them to hit Success Club, but they just don't count for the elite, or I'm sorry, the leadership points for this particular year. And the last way to earn leadership points, you guys, is new coaches in their first month, right out of the gate, have at least 1 Success Club point. They don't have to hit Success Club 5 or 10. They just need at least 1 point on the board with a home direct order or a challenge pack. So it's really important, guys, when our new coaches start, to get them going, right? I know that most people are nervous when they start. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready. I don't know what to say. I don't know who to invite. Simplify it. Hey, do you know anybody who'd want to do this challenge group with you, right? Is there anybody you'd want to add into this group? Because we're about to close enrollment for the group, and I just wanted to see if you had a friend or a family member that wanted to join also. Have them break it down like that, right? It's less scary, less intimidating. So these are the 3 ways to earn leadership points. Again, APV is your acquired personal volume through customers and coaches this whole year. It can't be past years. It's just 2019 starting today. Your PS coaches who hit Success Club, they have to actually hit Success Club. Those of you who hit Success Club this year, starting in May, we started really blowing up our team in terms of growing in like climbing the ladder and getting higher in ranking in the network. And it was because of you guys who were new 2017 and 2018 coaches hitting Success Club. It was totally you guys. And for that, I'm like so grateful, because that was the game changer. That's where our team took it to the next level. And the same thing applies to your people too. That's where your team, your personal downline will take it to the next level as well. And then new coaches hitting that Success Club right out of the bat. I have to be honest with you, I wasn't very good at that last year. And that is something, like, as a leader, I'm working on this year. How do I get my new coaches right out of the gate to at least get 1 Success Club point? Not just for leadership points, you guys, but because that breathes courage and belief right into them. Like, you remember how you felt when you had your first sale. Same thing applies to our people as well. Okay. These documents are on the Beachbody Champions page. I will bring these files over to our stars page so that you have easier access to them, but they are there as well. But this is the first step. This is the first stop for all of us. On that road is the team builder, and here's a tracker for you. So again, they break down. You need 25 leadership points, and once you hit it, you can totally fill in that circle like a golf card. Diamond rank, 1,000 in cumulative team volume from your weak leg in a 5-week period, right? So this one you can't, if you're diamond rank here at the start of the year, you could already check that one off. That's awesome. If that's like your first goal and you're gunning, if that's not your first goal and you feel far from diamond, what is your first task? 2 coaches every month, hit Success Club. Emerald every month, hit Success Club. Emerald every month, hit Success Club, and you'll be diamond in no time. Okay. Forgive me, I'm going to continue calling them elite points. I have to change flip my mindset on that. They're now called leadership points. 25 leadership points and this 1,000 5-week cumulative volume, that'll take a little time to roll over, right? That one new Emerald coach in 2019, that could easily even happen like within the week, right? You never know. So you just need to have one of your new coaches hit Emerald. Now, this could be if you have a spouse or somebody's account that you're controlling, it could be their account hitting that, right? Or you could reach out to your downline and say, hey, like I am gunning to, start mentoring my coaches and see who wants to work the business this year with me. And I'm really excited about it. And I just wanted to see who's in, who wants to do some team training with me, right? And that's going to be one of the first goals you set for them is to go Emerald, right? And then here's where you can track leadership points. It will be tracked for you in your back office as well. And I'll show you where that is in a second. But you can track as that goes. Sorry, this is totally too small for me right now. And then this is assignment number 1, you guys. Everybody here, if you are not already Diamond, this is what I need you to fill out. You need to fill out how far you are from Diamond. Where do you need to go? Have it visually in front of you so that you know, okay, this is all I have to do. Right? Sometimes we think we're a lot further than we really are. And whenever I make those updated graphics on our Rising Stars page, I feel like all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, I'm not as far as I think I am, right? And we can start to fill in the pieces or call on those people who are like, please, like I know I've asked you in the past, but can you please reconsider because I'm going for this huge goal and we are so close and you'd be a big part of helping me hit it. Just like with Emerald, you guys, I shared this a lot and I'm not doing Diamond intern this month because I want to focus on this overall picture and roadmap with you guys of just ringing in a new rank and helping all of you guys to get off the ground running in the new year. But one of the things that I think is something I've chatted with our past interns about is that when we go Emerald, we pull out the stops. Like we call our mom, we call our husband, our boyfriend, like we freaking sign up our dog, like we do whatever it takes to go Emerald because we're like, oh my gosh, it's easy, just 2 people, right? When I helped Charlie's account go Diamond, and as Lindsay and Leah were both gunning for Diamond, that was the same conversation. Like, who do you know that you can pull the stops out with? And that's, I think every milestone you get to, you get by clawing. You clawed your way to Emerald. And then you add another coach, and then you can kind of breathe, right? The same thing happened for me when I clawed my way to Diamond. And then it was like, okay, I got to get to Diamond. And then I add some more coaches and I feel a little bit like a buffer, layer. And it feels like I can breathe again. And then I clawed for 1 star and now I can breathe. And like we're clawing for 2 star. And it just feels like as you're going for that next thing, you're always going to claw to get there. But then you get to the top and you can kind of breathe for a second. So I don't want you to like look at this goal of Diamond as like so far off and who am I ever going to find? And nobody wants to work the business. Because remember, this week we're talking about mastering our mindset. If your mindset is that nobody wants to work the business, maybe it's that you don't have belief in working the business. Maybe you haven't worked the business enough to foster belief that other people could absolutely work this business alongside of you, right? Mastering your mindset is oftentimes a look in the mirror. The things that we say are often the things that we believe, right? So just check that out. If you're like, nobody wants to work the business, maybe we should stop saying that. Maybe we should say, I am looking for women who are dying to be a part of this team. I'm looking for the woman who is just like me, who needs this in her life in 2019. And I know she's out there because I was once out there, right? And then here's your 1 new Emerald. So obviously if you're gunning for Diamond and you don't have your Emeralds yet, that's going to be helpful in you hitting Team Builder. And then the Team Leader Qualification Tracker, very similar, just kind of upping the ante to those benchmarks there. I think that's my last slide on that. Yeah, let me stop share. Let me just peek if there's questions. Let me pause for some questions first. Done these things to earn points in 18. Do they roll over into 19? Yes and no. Let me see, like rank-wise, so I need the visual in front of me so that I can kind of talk through it, sorry. Okay, 25 leadership points, it's all erased. So if you had any leadership points from last year, they don't roll over. Just like Success Club gets erased on the first day of the month, same thing with points at the first day of the year. So everyone's at 0. If you are at Diamond rank, like Leia's at Diamond rank, she can already check that off. Yeah, that'll count for her. If she now, but now the trick for somebody like Leia, and I'm using Leia as an example because she is our token Diamond right now, but she would have to add a new Emerald in 2019. So like, any of her Emeralds that helped her get to Diamond in 18 don't count for this. No. And then this has to be 5 weeks in 2019. Not, does that answer your question? The only people that count from 2018 are PS coaches for Success Club. That's the only, but that means they have to hit it in 2019. But if they're a 2018 coach, they do count for that. Okay. If that didn't quite answer it, just let me know. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Let me go over here too. Now, when we go to elite and premier qualification, now this is going to be different going into this year. I'm sure it'll look different to match what's happening now in the elite and premier with the new road to elite. But this is what it used to look like. And once it refreshes, give it a second. And I found that by Monitor My Business, you guys, and then you go over to qualifications, and it's in elite and premier. That's where that is right now. Now, you might not see anything there because until you're a diamond coach, this in the past would not unlock for you. I don't know how that's going to happen in this year, is if everybody has access to seeing their points, even if they're not at the diamond rank yet, because since that's like a check mark that you have to hit on that, I'm not completely certain on the answer to that, but this screen should look different. Once you're diamond though, this screen starts to show you where you're ranked. Now you can see this was the last week of December where it tells us like our qualifications, and you can see for Premier, we got our elite points, we got our paid diamonds, we just missed the paid rank. Womp womp, it's all good. And then it tells you where your ranking is, and you can see down here where our points were spread. So acquisition PV, we got 75 in 2018. So that means if you do the math, that's 500. Every time there was 500 volume points, remember I got 1 elite point last year. So 75 times 500 is how much volume basically came in the whole year. Every time a personally sponsored coach hit Success Club, plus me, remember it got doubled. So this was awesome. This was absolutely awesome. And then this is where like Brittany falls short, and Brittany needs to work on that, is with new PS coaches hitting 1 Success Club point within their first month. Okay. And they have caps for that. When it comes to like the elite. So you can see where like they cap off, but for Premier, it doesn't actually cap. So you can see like we continued on past the 50, but if I were going for elite last year, I would have stopped at 50. They wouldn't have carried over those extra 25. I would have had to maximize these other areas. Okay. Now elite ranking leadership points, that comes into play. There are ways to get leadership points for your actual elite ranking. So once you become elite, they then rank people so that they can figure out who the top coach is and such. But I'm not going to get into that tonight. Okay. If that is a conversation that we need to have, I will definitely be having that conversation with y'all. Okay. Weak leg TV has to add up to 1,000 over 5 consecutive weeks. Yep. So when you look at those 5 weeks, like on your weak leg there, you have to add up to at least 1,000. Now, let me share one more time. There's an easier way to see all this, your weak leg volume, that is. When you go to Monitor My Business, you can look at it in your leadership ladder status. Now, because it's a new month, this is like totally not updated, but you can see like my weak leg volume it'll show you right here over the last 5 weeks. That's what my weak leg volume looked like. Okay. So under your leadership ladder status, it'll also show that too. Awesome. Okay. What questions do you guys have? How are we feeling?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. When I go to my leadership ladder status, it looks different than what you just showed. It doesn't show the accumulation over 5 weeks, I think. Can you show yours again?
Yeah. And I'm wondering if Oh my gosh, you guys, my bicep is twitching from my workout right now. You know what happens? So weak leg volume, it doesn't give you their.
Oh, okay. It is. I just didn't realize that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So sorry, this is not your acquisition personal volume. This is your weak leg volume for, is that what you asked?
Yeah, but it just, because it says last month, I didn't know that would be like your rolling 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, they do. And what's weird is that some of the months have that bonus week because months are longer than others, and where they start and stop with our work calendar plays a role into that. But this is over the last 5 weeks.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions, guys? That was good.
So they will always add that up. And like for me, if I'm gunning for team leader and my weak leg volume needs to be 2,500, it's going to be 2,500 every single week, or they add, okay, total over those last 5 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I was freaking out that it was 2,500 every single week. You know how I am right now, which is with my 6 weeks in qualification for where I am.
Yeah.
It's driven me crazy. Okay.
No, it's over the course of 5 weeks. And guys, this goes, so I know we've done leadership ladder training before. They're basically trying to take the leadership ladder and make it a part of elite, because they were two separate things that weren't talking. They weren't having a conversation. It was like, okay, I'm hitting this on the leadership ladder, but I'm not hitting elite. Like where's the disconnect? So they're trying to have them talk, so that if I want to hit elite one day in my business, or premier, or team builder, or team leader, whatever my goal is, it coincides with the behaviors that I'm hitting on the leadership ladder. So if I share, let me share back to our Coach Online office. If we look up here at, when I look at under monitor my business and leadership ladder status, you guys, when I click on that and I go into here, it'll show me my last month and my previous month, and also where the next rung is on the ladder. But to click and learn more, this is where I see all the different rungs: the business starter, the team builder, the team leader. And you'll see the benchmarks are very, are a little bit similar to where it's going on the road to elite as well. You'll see similar things. Most of us, guys, on leadership ladder have been hitting business starter, and the difference and the big change between business starter and when you get to team builder is mostly, well, it's a little bit rank, but most of you guys are at the rank that you need because it's emerald. Most of it is that you have to have your personally sponsored coaches hitting at least 1 point. So like Leah, for example, I'm going to use you because I'm pretty familiar with your account. I hope you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leah, I'm almost certain that in December she earned this. I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to go out on a limb and guess. She hit Success Club. She is Emerald Plus. I know 2 of her coaches had at least 1 Success Club point because she had Eric and Katie with people. And I'm not 100% certain on your weak leg volume from last month, but she probably would be a contender to have hit Team Builder in December. Okay. But the biggest change happens here when you need to start getting your personally sponsored coaches to get on the board with Success Club. And so that's the conversation that we're going to be having in our group this month. You know, it's how do we start expanding beyond just ourselves, right? And you guys are all stepping up in leadership. You guys have all shown amazing leadership throughout 2018 in terms of stepping up into challenge group roles, inviting, getting yourselves to summit, getting on Zooms frequently, participating and contributing in our team page and in our challenge groups. Just like this, it's endless. The list is endless and exhaustive, but you guys have already stepped up in leadership. And so your next thing is, how do you pass that along to other people? How do you now begin to teach those people to do what you're doing, right? And that's kind of what we're going to be kicking the year off with, but it starts with our mindset. So that's really all I have for you guys tonight. Any other questions on that?
Can you remind me, please, one more time about the leadership points? That's when I'd just like to hear you explain it one more time.
Yeah. 3 categories. APV, which is your acquired personal volume. Okay. APV is broken down into customer orders, in 2019. So starting today, anyone who buys something from you, that goes towards your APV, your acquired personal volume, and coaches on their first order.
Right.
So if you sign a coach up with a challenge pack, that first order will count for that, and that's it. So APV is your first one. APV is, guys, that's your, for what it's worth, that's your easiest one because you can control that because that's all you bringing in your new challengers, right? Like if you're hitting Success Club and you're going Emerald month after month after month, APV is going to be there for you. You're going to hit that, right? But you got to be consistent with the Success Club and the inviting. Second way to earn, so you get 1 point, every time you hit 500 accumulated volume points on your personal volume.
That's when you get the 1.
You get 1. Now remember, your personal volume, like when you go in your back office, you see your left and your right leg there. Your personal volume is just what you're bringing in on that separate. So that's an accumulation of 500 there only. So this side doesn't count. Yeah.
Can you show us where to find that APV? And then does it have to be 500 within a certain amount of time to get that 1 point?
Nope. Every time 500, you'll get a new point added.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that goes January 1 to December 31st. So every 500, we get a point.
The whole year, yeah. And what they do, you guys, is the second Friday of every month. January won't count. They won't update this until the second Friday in February. But the second Friday in February is when they will update leadership points, and you'll be able to see how many you have so far. So that's why, like, the second Friday is when I've always been very antsy, like, where were we ranked? Like, how many points do we get? Because I like to double check mine versus what theirs says to see if it's on point. So if I go to monitor my business in the back office, Lindsay, and I go to team volume, now you're not going to be able to see your APV, like your acquired, but you can add it up. So your personal volume is all here. And then so since this is the period week ending 1-2, this will all count for 2019. So like I need, 87 more points, and I will have 1 leadership point here, right? So you can kind of just start to, like, every week at weekend, you can kind of just write down how many and keep tallying it. That's where, let me stop share here. In the champions page, let me share again with you guys. Hold on. And guys, like, this takes a while for you it took a while for me to, like, understand. So the questions will be ongoing, and that's totally okay. In the Beachbody Champions page, you guys, if you go under the files section, they have it here for you with the trackers. So your first tracker, the team builder tracker, right here, this is the qualify for Success Club and do at least 2 of the following. Have at least 1 2018 or 2019 PS coach qualify for Success Club. Have at least 1 2019 PS coach earn an SC point in the month they enroll. So that's like, these are the ones, Leah, you were wanting me to go over again. I'm not going to go over these because they're in that video and I want you guys to watch that instead. So if I have, if I hit Success Club and then I have my personally sponsored coaches from 2018 or 2019 also hit Success Club, remember that doubles. Yeah. And then this is where I'm trying to see where they have, here's the volume. Sorry. No, that's the team volume, leadership points. I'm going to show you guys really quick a different thing. Where am I? Do I have my Canva open? Yes, I do. Can you guys see my Canva right now? All my graphics. Okay. This is what I did all year, you guys, and it was actually a lot easier, and I'll show this to you as well. Here we go. That graphic, I'm going to have to study that just a little bit more to understand how that math on that graphic is working. But for elite points last year, let's let it refresh for a second. Okay, so every time one of you guys hit Success Club, I put your name in a box here, and when I hit it, I put a check mark, and then I was counting. Now, obviously in November and December, I did not update that. I was just watching like a freaking hawk in the back office instead. But every time somebody hit Success Club, their name went in here. This was my personal tracking device, and then X meant double. So like in August, I had 3 of my 2017, 2018 PS Coach hit Success Club. So that counted for 3 points. And then I also hit Success Club in August, so it doubles it. So I got 6 points in August to add to my total here, right? But this is what I did in terms of every time I got 500, I'd add an X. And then I just kept rolling it over. And obviously you can see when I stopped, because I filled up one full one, and that's all I needed to fill up, but I kept going because I kept going past that. But this is what I did. So like every time I hit 500 personal volume and I knew that I had like 140 PV, maybe I had 90 PV and then 365 PV in 3 weeks, that was 595. So I hit an X, and then I saved the 95 for like, to add to this box. Does that make sense how I did this? I see a lot of faces kind of confused. Leia, you look confused.
I'm not a math person. I'm a visual, but I'm trying to put together.
And that's the thing. They'll do most of the math for you in the back office. They really will. So you don't have to worry so much about doing the math. But I was like, let's say in this first week of January, I got 140 volume points. Like I sold 140 worth of stuff. The next week I sold 90, and then I sold 365. Well, now I'm past 500. So I can check off, I just got 1 elite point here. Like ignore the other X's on the screen. I just got 1 point. And then 95, I'd have to start like 95. And then maybe the next week I got 205. And then once I got to another 500, I could check off another. And now I got 2 leadership points, right? This was my own tracking device because I was super anal about it. You really don't need to track. They track for you. But that's what these trackers are for as well. I'm going to have to study though what there's a category in there that I'm not familiar with. So I'm going to have to study that before I give you guys more information on that one. Any other questions? Well, the mindset behind all this, you guys, is that you absolutely can do it. You absolutely can do it. And right now we're reading The Compound Effect, and I picked that book on purpose. That's the very first book I ever read when I became a coach. It's one of the books that I would recommend to anyone who starts their business as a coach. But I think it's a really great book for the beginning of the year because it reminds us that the small, like nothing, we don't grow. No one's going to grow a $200,000 a year business by working 2 hours a week on the internet and pretending like if they post a sweaty selfie, they're going to like rank in big bucks. Like nobody does that. No one loses 30 pounds in a week. No one puts on a skin cream and looks 20 years younger immediately. Like no one does that. But we're sold this lie in society that does happen. But it doesn't, you guys. And so what what I want to embody in the next 5 weeks is that whatever you want to achieve in these first 3 months, you absolutely can achieve it, but you got to put your head down and you got to just start doing some of the work, right? And that's what Saturday. So tomorrow we have our guided power hour as normal. That's going to stay the same. That's for everyone on the team. But Saturday mornings, big sacrifice, you guys, because that's 6 a.m. my time. Big sacrifice for this first month, but I'm willing to do what others aren't so that I can live a life like others won't. So 6 to 7 a.m. on Saturday mornings, my time, right before the book club, we will be doing power hours. They will not be guided, you guys. It'll just be literally being accountable to do our crap on a Saturday morning. Yeah. So that we can make sure that we're really staying accountable to that. Cause that's what it takes. That's really what it takes. Any other questions? Otherwise we can wrap this shindig up.
I just have a quick one about Super Weekend. Yeah. So Saturday the 12th, are you still planning on doing the Hustle Hour and Book Club with us going right into Super Saturday as well?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to put it in my calendar.
I'll probably make sure the book club is done by 7:30, 7:45 at the latest.
Okay.
When I can head over. So I'm not late like last time. Oops. And then that's the other thing, guys. Super Weekend. Find a Super Weekend near you. Tell your downline, hey, let's get to this Super Weekend. The other thing is Summit, guys. There's an initiative right now, and everyone who's on here, you have a downline, so like everyone can do this. The initiative for Summit this month, on the 12th, the ticket goes on sale for $155. If they purchase it and they say that you were their referral, you will get to go to a very special secret workout at Summit that is like invite only for people who qualify. So that's going to be a big push too, is getting people to buy Summit tickets. So people in your downline, new coaches that you are bringing on board, getting them to embrace the idea of joining us live. Anyone have the link on here for finding a Super Saturday near you? Mary, if you go to your Coach Online office and click events, Super Saturday will pop up right there, and you'll be able to type in your zip code. That'll be the easiest way. All right, guys. I think that's it. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. If you have more questions, I'm sure you will. Let's keep a rolling conversation going over on that page. If you haven't listened to the podcast yesterday, hi. If you haven't listened to the podcast from yesterday, please go listen to it. It is so good on mindset, and I think that's a great way to kick off this week. And I'll see you guys on the page tomorrow morning. Have a great night, guys.